Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the Sunday services at Center for Spiritual Living, Denver. We are a loving and prospering community in the heart of Denver and online. We now conduct hybrid services at the historic Grant Avenue Community Center and Sacred Place, located at 216 South Grant Street, Denver, Colorado. All are welcomed here. A place, space, and face of love. We are a spiritual community practicing universal principles that enrich our lives. We are grateful that you have blessed us with your presence. While online, we'd love to know you're watching with us. Feel free to leave a comment and let everyone appreciate you. With everything going on, life can feel overwhelming. CSL Denver wants you to know we are here for you. Please know that our practitioners are available for personal prayer work. Our licensed spiritual practitioners' names and phone numbers are available on our website at csldenver.org. Or if you have a prayer request, feel free to email it to info@csldenver.org. For your convenience, you'll find clickable links in the description of this broadcast. Rev Elzia, along with all our guest speakers, practitioners, service coordinators, and musical inspirations, want you to know how truly grateful we are that you are with us today. Thank you for your continued support and participation in our services, workshops, and events, as well as providing financial contributions to our center. If you're interested in upcoming events and information, we send out weekly newsletters. Sign up by visiting www.csldenver.org. We deliver services in a hybrid format where we meet in person at 216 South Grant Street. We will also continue to live stream all services on Facebook and YouTube every Sunday. Find us on our respective channels as well as on New Thought Media Network. Again, thank you for your precious attention. Now prepare for engaging enlightenment.
There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden where God's grace blooms. There is a garden where everything grows, a beautiful garden where love is sown. And in this place of light and love, you can have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden. That garden is you. place of light and love. You can't have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden. That garden is you. Such a beautiful garden. That garden is you.
Good morning. I'm Rumi, engineer. I'm a practitioner at CSL Denver. Please let me know if you can't hear me. I'm sorry I can't speak too loudly. Let us start with a prayer. Father, Mother, God, Spirit, the presence that is within us, around us, and in all of creation, we thank you for this day. We thank the people, each and every one who is here today, who is listening to the service online. We are particularly grateful and thank Reverend Robert for stepping in because Reverend Elzia is not feeling so good. And we bless Reverend Elzia for his health. We bless everyone who steps into this environment, for it is sacred. And we are grateful for being here. And together we say, and so it is. The reading today is about embracing wholeness. We are naturally, irresistibly drawn to wholeness. There is something within us that yearns to discover that which makes us whole, to realize the peace and joy that we inherently know is ours by divine birthright. God wants us to embrace our wholeness, and the key to living wholly is in the realm of consciousness. A life of wholeness flows through our experience only because it first flows through our consciousness, and spiritual consciousness is attained through practicing truth. And Ernest Holmes, our founder, wrote in Know Yourself, page 77, "It is not our spirit that needs to be made whole. It is our mental reactions to life that need healing. These mental reactions are both conscious and subjective." And so it is. And now to Jesse Powers singing Bucket.
Let's fill up our cups, and when our cups overfloweth, let us get a bigger container. Sometimes I get a glimpse of what happens in your head, and I gotta say they sound so ridiculous. It makes me wonder if you understand how blessed I've been feeling being with you. 'Cause you got this way of carrying the light, just like a prism giving rainbows to people passing by, projecting technicolor dreams before my eyes. You just radiated, ain't it beautiful? You got me so good that you could go and break my heart in two. I would probably smile in all of the beautiful ways that you do you. So baby, you better get used to it. My love ain't going nowhere. It starts as a spark, now my heart won't quit. My love ain't going nowhere. Your cup's too small and it all won't fit. My love ain't going nowhere. Better go to Home Depot, get a whole bucket, 'cause my love ain't going nowhere. love to witness you in all your humanness. Cause I get to see the things in me that you reflect. I get to reel and get this feeling in my chest. I'm in love, baby, with every little piece of you. You got me so good that you could go and leave me in the dust. And I'd be delighted to find there was more of you that I get to love. So baby, you better get used to it, cause my love ain't going nowhere. It starts as a spark, now my heart won't quit. My love ain't going nowhere. And your cup's too small and it all won't fit. My love ain't going nowhere. Better go to Home Depot, get a whole bucket, cause my love ain't going nowhere. Yeah. Hey, hey, hey. This is like Spirit's love letter to all of us. We're just so oblivious to how lovable and amazing we are. Here we go. So baby, stop playing like you ain't amazing, blazing with beauty and truth. Somebody heard me praying, craving, waiting years for a love like you. Baby, stop playing like you ain't amazing, blazing with beauty and truth. Somebody heard me praying, craving, waiting years for a love like you. Baby, stop playing like you ain't amazing, blazing with beauty and truth. Somebody heard me praying, craving, waiting years for a love like you. 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 Been waiting years for a love like you.
Wow, I love Jesse Powers. I know that television screen doesn't quite do it the justice we would love, and it is so much fun to hear Jesse any morning that I get to listen to her music. So thank you for that. My name is Reverend Dr. Robert Brzezinski. I'm a guest speaker today. I'm your pinch hitter because Reverend Elzia called me Friday afternoon and said, hey, I need a big, huge favor. And I'll tell you, when a minister calls and says, I need a big favor, I see some people nodding in the audience. We know what that means. And my immediate response was, well, yes. What do you need? What's going on? So what we know is that he was exposed to the new COVID variant at some point. He tested negative yesterday, and we all felt it was better being safe than sorry. Because we don't know for sure if he has this new variant, if he's caught that, or if we're just, again, being better safe than sorry in some occasions. So thank you for being with us this morning. This is the Center for Spiritual Living Denver. We teach the science of mind philosophy. And with that, there is an annual theme. Now, one of the things I love about being a guest speaker at this community is we hold those annual themes kind of at arm's reach. We can rely on them when we need, and we have a tendency to step away from them and talk about whatever we want to talk about. So seeing as how I've only known I was doing this talk for a little over 24 hours, I'm going to talk about whatever I want to talk about. However, the annual theme or the monthly theme for the month of December is Living Wholeness. And the specific talk title suggested for today is Embracing Wholeness. And so we're going to talk a bit about embracing wholeness today. One of the things that I have to do, however, though, is it is the month of December. So one of the things that I have is a little tradition for the month of December, and that's with my family. So I brought props. I'm only allowed to wear this hat for the month of December. For those of you watching online, you might see this hat at another talk throughout the month of December, but I promise it goes back in the bucket on January 1st. Comes out of the bucket sometime around after Thanksgiving, goes back in the bucket January 1st. But I would love to be in the festive season because December is the month for me, is the season of light. Is the season of holidays, not just one holiday. And if we get real technical and we start digging into all the various religions and all the various spiritual traditions across the country, there's about 19 different holidays between 2 days ago and the end of the month. It's amazing that throughout humanity, for one reason or another,
all the various cultures, all the various societies, all the various religions come to a point of some sort of celebration during the month of December. I happen to be a Sagittarius, so I threw an extra one in there, and my birthday is on the 20th of the month. So there's even another celebration for me that goes into the whole mix. And that's what I want you to consider today, is to take a look at the wholeness of the human experience. Now, in communities like this, in spiritual philosophies, we often focus on becoming whole for the self. And that is important, and that is an absolute vital step on anyone's journey, is coming to that sense of feeling whole. Now, when I talk about wholeness, for me, it's not the opposite. It's not the absence of separation, if you will, but it is an expression of our inherent nature, of who we came here to be. And when you come into life, every one of us comes in completely whole and perfect. And there is nothing missing in your life. There's nothing absent from your life. In our prayer work, which we also call spiritual mind treatment, if you'd like to learn more about that, ask any of the practitioners. They can give you a whole thesis on it. But in that, we have a portion of our prayer where we affirm our connection, our uniqueness, our oneness as an expression of the divine. And in that process, and you'll hear this a little later on at the end of the talk, in that process, I like to say that you are whole and complete with nothing missing and nothing absent. That is the very definition, actually, of the word perfect. So for me, you won't hear me say you are whole and perfect, because that's the same thing. You are whole, you are complete, and there is nothing missing in your life. Okay, I understand, but what about the red sports car? What about that extra $100 I need for the holiday season? What about that extra 1,000 because the furnace went out? What about where the challenges of the human experience bump up directly into the knowledge we have, the wisdom we have of our wholeness? That's just a simple little forgetting. How many people here remember their very first telephone number, your childhood phone number? Anybody? I was recently at a family event and we were having this discussion, and it was like, okay, we can all remember 859-0056. That was mine. And then somebody said, yeah, what was the area code? I don't know. We didn't use area codes back then. We just had your number. I had forgotten the area code. It doesn't mean it wasn't part of the number. It doesn't mean that it wasn't part of my life. It doesn't mean that it didn't represent the wholeness of that number, of how to connect with my family. It was just a simple forgetting. I would imagine there are things you have forgotten that maybe you said you would do on Monday, and by Tuesday you had forgotten that you said that. I know I'm a minister. I do that all the time. Sure, we can do that. If I don't write it down, I forget it. In our lives, it's natural to forget. We're busy people. Our mind is constantly being flooded with the inputs of television and media, of friends, of family, of our own thoughts. How many people woke up this morning, took a look out the window and went, oh, this might make things interesting? Now, I didn't know how much snow was actually out. I didn't know how long it had been snowing. I didn't know if it was going to continue to snow. And by the time it was time for me to leave, well, wouldn't you know it, the snow was light enough and the car never got cold enough that there wasn't even any ice on my windshield. The snow just, a couple of windshield wipers and it was gone. My point here is that we make up stories every day of our lives. That is our nature. We create stories around what maybe somebody said, about what might have happened at work or at the grocery store. We make up stories that create an experience, if you will, of separation, of forgetting our wholeness. This month, we have that reminder to celebrate our wholeness as a human race by honoring every holiday that might come along. We have the opportunities to affirm the wholeness of humanity, not by taking sides in any of the wars that are happening across the planet, not by taking sides, but by looking for a vision that says we are one. Deeply, we are one. We are one human family. We are one human race. So wholeness becomes a consciousness of our oneness. You with me? This means yes. This means no. This means I have no idea what you're talking about anymore, Robert. For those online, you can chat along and let us know. I'm not sure which we're on that camera. For those online, you're welcome to chat along and let us know in the comments. And I know this holiday season can be tough for some, because life and death really are no respecters of time. Any woman that's ever given birth knows that birth doesn't happen at a convenient time. And for those that have lost a family member or a friend and know that death never happens at a convenient time. It happens when it happens. And so the month of December, in all its lightness and all its glory and all its fun and in its parties, and anybody been to a holiday party yet? Yep, there you go. I've been to one this weekend. Got 2 more next weekend. In all the fun, for many, it is a time of remembering the sorrows, of not letting themselves forget the wholeness. I've had the opportunity to sit at the bedside of more than a few people that have made their earthly transition. No one in my direct family. However, my wife's family is experiencing that right now. And they are gathered together in New Hampshire, sitting bedside and having an experience of witnessing the wholeness, even in the experience of letting go. See, people hold on to things because we've been taught we're supposed to. I've got to be what someone told me I was supposed to be, or I need to live up to the expectations of someone in my family. Letting go of that which no longer serves our experience, our journey, is as much of the wholeness as it is embracing that which we desire. In the New Thought philosophy and science of mind, which is part of a grander, from my perspective, philosophy of New Thought, it's real easy to get caught in the world of it's all love and light. It's all good. Even if it hurts, it's all good. That's what we now commonly refer to as metaphysical malpractice. To be whole in a world that can be very, very confusing, in a world that can appear to have more separation than unity, in a world where division and harm and hate and war seem more prevalent, it's almost not a challenge, but it's a badge of honor to be able to look at the world and see wholeness. Maybe it is a challenge. What if we take the challenge and make that a badge of honor? To be able to sit in the face of the limitation and say, no, that's not how it works. How many people know Geico? pretty easy to get everybody to say that one, right? How many people would agree Geico has probably had some of the most amazing and creative advertising campaigns over the last 20, 30 years? And the one I love the most, and the one my family relies on the most, was 3 women sitting in a room, and they're talking about their grandkids, and they're talking about this and this and that and the other thing. And one of them says, well, I don't understand why nobody likes my pictures. I put them on the wall, and the camera pans over, and she's got pictures pasted all over the wall of her home. And one of the other women looks at her and goes, that's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. And I invite you to take that as a mantra into your holiday season this year and into next year. When you see something that does not align with what you know as the truth of the divine, so I'll say that 3 times fast. When you see something that it does not align with the truth of the divine, be willing to say, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. The trick is we don't get to leave it there. We've got to take that next step. And we've got to take that next step to say, that isn't how it works. This is how it works. This is how we come to a greater sense of our unity, of our wholeness, of our oneness. You know, here in Denver and really all across the United States, there is the experience going on of homelessness to a greater degree than in any time in my lifetime. Now, there have always been people that have chosen to be unhoused. There have always been people that have become unhoused through various circumstances. When I was a kid, we had a lot of different names for them. And it always created that sense of separation. Well, we live in a philosophy that says it's all God. So that must be God too. And here in Denver, we're having the conversation around micro communities and small and micro houses and a new hotel, or not a new hotel, but City of Denver just purchased another hotel. But what we're experiencing, from my perspective, is not a sense of compassion that says, how do we help these folks get to their wholeness as well? I'm seeing a lot of that NIMBY stuff. Not in my backyard, not in my neighborhood, not next to my business. In this season of light, as we're being called to embrace wholeness, we, I believe, have to be able to see those that are the most marginalized in our society, those that have been oppressed in our society, and those that have really just forgotten. Those that have just forgotten. Yeah, there are those folks that live on the streets that don't want to make their lives better, that feel content just riding it out till that last sunset. The people I talk to, and the people that talk to those people more than I do, say the same thing. The majority of the people living on the streets today want shelter. They want something to do. They want a meaningful job. They want to be a beneficial presence on the planet. They've just forgotten how to do it. They've forgotten how to stand in the truth. They have forgotten how to align themselves with the divine. And I believe that is our work as spiritual leaders, as spiritual followers, as spiritual people, as whatever you want to call yourself. Compassion for those that have forgotten the truth of who they really are. Now, we can take that a whole nother step too, because 2024 is right around the corner. And 2024 is one of those magical numbers where here in the United States of America, we engage in the most divisive, separatist, and argumentative practice known to humankind. It's election season. And I'm not here to say who to vote for. I'm not here to say what to vote for. I'm not here to profess any political ideology. But what I know is that if your ideology, I can guarantee truly, your ideology and mine are not the same. Even if we both call ourselves blue or red or purple. Colorado being a very purple state, it's very likely that someone on your block, someone on your street has a, let's say, dramatically different political ideology than you may. Does that make them any less human? Does it make them any less lovable? Does it make their humanity any less valuable to the evolution of human consciousness? No. They've just forgotten something. I've forgotten stuff. In my radical liberalism, I have forgotten that sometimes fiscal responsibility is pretty important if we want to move a society forward. So our objective, if you will, the opportunity, if you will, is for every one of us to take our inherent wholeness, to take that inner sense that I'm okay, that I am a valuable being on this planet, that who I am is enough, and what I do is enough, and how I show up is absolutely perfect, absolutely vital. If you walk away with anything today, I want you to walk away with this. Your existence on this planet is absolutely vital to the evolution of human consciousness. Your existence is vital to humanity's future. I don't know how to say it any more clearly. And I can say it every Sunday, and if you want, you call me every morning, and I'll tell you every morning the same thing. My ministry beyond this is New Thought Media Network. We do over 40 hours of broadcasting a week. I don't do all of that. But if you watch the programs that I share, YouTube and Facebook and other outlets, if you watch the programs that I share, Reverend Elzia and I do a show every Tuesday afternoon together, 2 o'clock Mountain Time. We talk about these things, and it always comes back to the fact that your existence is vital. Humanity's evolution cannot be stopped. Your wholeness cannot be lost. You might forget it once in a while. So it's important to have a good friend, to have a good system, a good community, a good network of people that will remind you of your truth when you have forgotten it. I'm going to paraphrase a story that I don't remember the origins of, but Spirit's knocking me in the back of the head with it. In many indigenous tribes across Africa, there is a tradition that when a child is born, rather than a baptism or a bris, they bring that child into the center of the community, and the community sings to the child. And they call it the song of their soul. And the community makes a commitment in that moment to remember that song for the rest of their lives. And the child is infused with the song of their soul from the very earliest memories. And as they travel through their life on historical markers, birthdays, graduations, different events in their lives, when they get in trouble, the tribe brings them together and sings the song of their soul. Now, to me, that's embracing wholeness. That's embracing the reality, the remembrance that you are inherently whole and perfect and complete, and there is nothing missing, and there is nothing absent, and there is nothing broken in your life. And yeah, sometimes I might step outside the boundaries. Drive a little fast and have an officer give me a ticket. Or maybe I say something that hurts a partner or alienates a friend. Those are the times when I need somebody to sing the song of my soul with me, to remind me of this truth, to remind me of my own magnificence. A major way, that's where a lot of the practitioners that are in these communities come in really, really handy. I'll say it, vital. Practitioners are specifically trained not to tell you what to think, but to remind you of a truth that you already know. To pray with you and to share with you and to affirm the magnificence of who you are and who you have come here to be. When we embrace our own wholeness, when we create a structure that reminds us of that wholeness when we have forgotten, well, there's nothing that can get in your way then. This is the land of instant demonstrations. Speak it and it is so. Say the word and it is done. Because when we really know our wholeness, then it's easy to look at the problems and the concerns of our planet, of our world, of our society, and say, that's not how this works. There is more than enough for everyone. There's enough shelter on this planet to shelter every single human being on the planet. You know, in the United States alone right now, there are documented more empty homes and apartments in the United States now than there are people sleeping on the streets every night. Now, we're not going to get into the social political aspects of finance and why that is and profit margin, and the society would fall apart if we gave. I do not believe our economy and society would fall apart if we took true care of the most marginalized people in our society. Give everybody a home, give everybody a living wage, give everybody access to clean water and healthy food. What could go wrong? Find your wholeness. If you need help, that's okay. That's not something to be ashamed of. Find that help. It's out here. It's everywhere. Talk to Reverend Elzia. Call me. Call any one of our practitioners. They're more than willing to sit with you and help you remember the truth of who you are. Because here's the bigger story. I don't know what that truth is. And anybody that tells you what your truth is lying to you. But you do. You're the only one that does. It's a sacred pact that you have with yourself. And in this season of light, I encourage you to explore that, to figure that out. Because then, collectively, we can step into the new year. We can step into 2024. We can celebrate the light all month long. And then come January, folks, it's time to get our hands dirty, get our feet marching, and get some work done. And that's going to look different for every one of us. We embrace wholeness so we may live the wholeness. But the truth is, you're never going to live a sense of wholeness unless you embrace that you are already whole. Whole and complete, with nothing missing and nothing absent. I feel that voice. I hear that voice telling me it's time to pray. So if it's your style to join me in that, please do. If you're comfortable enough to close your eyes, please feel free to do so. And begin with the breath. No need to hold the breath, no need to count the breath, just breathe. For the breath is the sacred reminder of our humanity. And the breath is the reminder of our oneness. For we all breathe the same air. In that breath, we come to recognize the one. one power, one presence, one infinite intelligence that is moving and breathing and having its being as all of life, every expression of life, every human, every furry creature, every winged creature, every scaly creature, every creepy, crawly creature, every form of life on this planet and beyond this planet, part of the oneness, part of the divine revelation of that power, presence, and intelligence that we call God, or call it Buddha, or call it Brahma, or Yahweh, or Vishnu, or Kuan Yin, source energy, divine mother, no matter what, Gaia, no matter what the name, no matter what the image, no matter what the icon, the oneness reveals itself as every form of life perfectly. The divine revealing itself as your life perfectly, whole, complete, with nothing missing and nothing absent. As we come to that recognition of our oneness, of our wholeness, of our interconnectedness, of our own divine expression of life, I recognize that everyone that hears these words now at another time and another dimension, everyone that hears these words is a divine emanation of this one life, is an absolutely vital aspect of this one life, and that we each bring a unique set of gifts and skills and talents to this thing called life. And I know the world would be a much, much lesser place without you, without the gifts that you bring, without the gifts that only you can bring, so that collectively we may rise up and recognize our individual wholeness as part of the greater wholeness, as part of that universal wholeness, where we live even beyond this planetary boundary, even beyond the bonds of gravity in this planet. We live beyond that, the oneness of all of the universe is revealed to us each in our own way. So I claim for each one here today an experience of feeling the celebration of this month, the celebration of this sense of living as wholeness, and recognize that it is ours to support everyone around us to come to this same truth, to come into alignment with the divine nature of our divinity. We are here as vessels of the divine, as the voice of God, as the very hands and the very heart of the divine. And I claim for each a deep sense of knowing you are enough. You are whole, complete. There is nothing missing and nothing absent. And so I step forth into the rest of this day, into the rest of this week, with a joyful heart, with a great, great sense of gratitude for the truth that is being revealed here today, for the deep knowing that as we loose this word, as we send this word, this prayer, as we cast this prayer into the universal law, the law that must return this word fulfilled, the law that cannot return this word void, the law that is universally already acting upon this word to bring forward the conditions, to bring forward the opportunities, to bring forward the connections and the people and the resources and the money and everything necessary to fulfill this grand vision. The law, the universal law, is already operating upon this prayer, already doing what it does to bring forth the demonstration of this prayer. So there's nothing left more than to get out of the way, to get my human belief in limitation or lack or not enoughness, to get my own humanness out of the way of the divine circuits and let the universal law be and do what it does. Create with love and compassion. And together, we are one. Deeply, we are one. So if any word of this has reached or touched you in any way, please join me in an affirmation of truth as we say together, and so it is. And so it is. Thank you for those that are online. I'm going to hand it back over to Rumi.
Thank you, Reverend Robert. It's always a joy to hear you. Time for us to share our abundance, our prosperity. We are so grateful and blessed for everyone's support of CSL Denver, whether it's in time, treasure, or talent, and especially during this time of change. Whether this is your first time joining us or you are a returning community participant, we want to thank you for your continuing financial support of the important work we are striving to provide. These glasses are a nuisance. Right now, there are several ways you can make your financial contribution to Center for Spiritual Living Denver. This information is running along the bottom of your screen. Please note that we have a new text-to-give phone number if you're choosing to donate that way. The number is 616-441-0689. Now, please repeat with me our usual affirmation. Hold this to your heart. This perfect gift is spirit-informed, circulating and blessing all that it touches. Freely I give, and joyously I receive, and so it is. Amen. And now a few announcements. I don't know if we're going to do this with Reverend Elzia not here, but this Sunday after service, we have a meditation and coffee social from right after the service and until whenever. So make friends with yourself and others. Join us for mindfulness moment meditation. Thank you. Where we will focus on quieting the mind and being fully present in the now without judgment. Wholeness, remember? We will follow it up by socializing with like-minded people, with discussion or a cup of coffee or tea at our location here, or a local coffee shop, which is called the Molecule Effect. It's across Logan. We have older Science of Mind magazines for free on the table next to the fellowship table. The Science of Mind magazine started going bi-monthly in September. So the new magazines are for September and October. However, they're the same price of $4. Well, September and October are over. So they should be free. It's November and December for $4. If you would like to hear some good news of the world to affirm the good in the world, we have a link on our Facebook page called And Now the Good News. This program is put together by New Thought Media Network and airs on Fridays at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, or you can watch these anytime during the week. Just go to the Center for Spiritual Living Denver Facebook page and click on any post that says, And Now the Good News. And guess who will appear on it? New Thought Media Network has over 40 hours of weekly broadcast programs. We invite you to go to www.ntmedia.org and check out what they have. There's something for everyone. We are so truly blessed by everyone who has chosen to support CSL Denver by showing up on Sundays or watching our services online. We know that as we move through the rest of this year, the Divine Beloved is guiding and loving each and every one of us. Thank you for joining us. Now let's close out with Chris Chickering singing A Prayer for Who We Really Are.
This is a prayer for the love within us. This is a prayer to release our hearts. This is a prayer that we carry with us. This is a prayer for who we really are. We are light, we are sunshine, we are what we believe. We are hope, we are promise of everything that's yet to be. We are bliss, we are laughter, we are flowers in the spring. We are life, ever flowing, and these are the words that we will sing. This is a prayer for the love within us. This is a prayer to release our hearts. This is a prayer that we carry with us. This is a prayer for who we really are. We are strong, we are fearless, we find the comfort in our souls. We are real, we are open to the destiny that's ours to hold. This is a prayer for the love within us. This is a prayer to release our hearts. This is a prayer that we carry with us. This is a prayer for who we really are. We are here, we are present in every moment that we breathe. We are peace, we are freedom, and this is a song for you and me. Yeah, this is a prayer for the love within us. This is a prayer to release our hearts. This is a prayer that we carry with us. This is a prayer for who we really. This is a prayer for the love within us. This is a prayer to release our hearts. This is a prayer that we carry with us. This is a prayer for who we